2,697, appearing in column 6, gross current estimates, and substituting therefore the expression Kenya shillings 4,802,2,697. Chair, allow me to explain that the National Council for Nomadic Education in Kenya, NACONEC, was mandated to promote access, retention, transition, and completion of basic education for learners in nomadic, marginalized, and other undeserved areas, specifically those in arid and semi-arid lands, that is the ASALs. Honorable Speaker, Laikipia happens to be one of those areas, and I believe for us to retain NACONEC to retain this budget at the Ministry of Education, it would enable NACONEC to ensure the alignment with education. We are not just feeding these children, but we are ensuring that they continue with their education. By allocating this money to the Department of ASAL, these are people who are detached from the system of education and may not be following through with what our children need to achieve. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chair, it's also good to remember that we are a country that is constrained on resources, and as the Ministry of Education monitors and evaluates other programs, it is good that NACONEC retains the feeding program, because that is a program that will be under the Ministry of Education. Chairperson, on sustainability, for how long can ASAL continue ensuring and monitoring that our children remain in school if they're the ones who are going to run the program? Honorable Chair, my humble amendment would be in regard to ensuring that this fund is returned to NACONEC under the Ministry of Education, so that we ensure our children are retained in schools. Of course, I know when it is ASALs, they don't appreciate that there are places like Kisargei in Laikipia County where our children have to be ensured they're going to school. And at the Ministry of Education, they know all their schools in these areas, and they'll be able to monitor which child did not come to school, how they're faring in their education, and how they're able to continue with their education. Chairperson, I move.
Thank you. I propose the question that the program accelerated arid and semi-arid. You let me propose the question first, and then you will have an opportunity. Honorable members, I propose the question that the program accelerated arid and semi-arid lands development under Vote 1036 be amended as proposed. Okay, now, Honorable, who was that who wanted to speak? Yes, Honorable Ngongoyo.
Madam Speaker, I rise to support the amendment. Madam Speaker, coming from Kajiado, thank you, Chair. I rise to support the amendment because, Madam Speaker, anytime education in the ASAL region is a matter that has to be combined together with the issue of movement. And number two, we have a lot of schools in Kajiado that are boarding schools that are meant to facilitate children from the nomadic regions. So I rise to support this amendment. It will favor children, specifically during movement, Madam Speaker, and I want to agree with the Honorable Kagiri that this is the right direction. Let the money remain in the Ministry of Education, because we must cluster education together with these regions that are called the ASAL regions, and coming from Kajiado, this will be a beneficial attachment when it goes to the Ministry of Education. Thank you very much.
Yeah, member for Busia.
Thank you, Chair. I rise to support fully this the amendment, because I come from a place where floods are frequent, and semi-arid areas like Funyula and Teso North. I spoke to the principals, and they've said that attendance has improved. Nutrition-wise, the students are looking even better. Academic performance has been improved as well, and just overall well-being. So this is a very good amendment. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Honorable members. Yes, Honorable Makali.
Yeah, you know, Madam Chairperson, I really have no problem with this amendment. But I think what is an issue of concern is, to me, this is a policy matter. That the money was with another body and is being moved to another body. I think really that matter needs to, because if my memory serves me well, The reason why the money was being moved from that particular organization to the ministry was because there was a bit of corruption. I don't think really that issue has been addressed by the mover of this amendment. Can we be told what is happening? Because I thought that was being informed by the fact that the money was not being accounted for properly. So are we saying now that issue has been sorted out? And if not so, we can't return money where it has not been accounted for.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I rise to oppose that amendment. And I want to agree there have been issues on accountability, as Honorable Makali says. And Honorable Makali has been a very diligent member of the Budget and Appropriations Committee. To Honorable Speaker, there was a cabinet decision, a decision by cabinet to move that function from the Ministry of Education, and that has since not been rescinded. 3, Honorable Speaker, the Budget and Appropriations Committee has not even considered that particular amendment and agreed with it in committee in line with Article 114 of our Constitution. Therefore, strongly oppose that particular amendment, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Chair. And I can see the Chair of the Budget Committee preparing to say something. Chair Budget is preparing to speak.
But Chairperson Budget, this was approved by the Speaker and it was in the order paper. So what's the position?
Madam Chair, you know the Speaker may have approved it, but it did not pass through the Budget and Appropriations Committee, as has been explained by the Leader of Majority. So, Madam Speaker, the amendment is rejected and it falls.
Yes, Honorable, proceed.
Madam Speaker, I think the amendment is quite in order. You know, we are trying to insinuate that the Minister of Education, through NACONEC, has failed to perform its functions. Do we have a report in this House that really talks about the same, whereby we are talking about NACONEC has failed its core duties of managing these funds? We don't have that report. So if that is the case, and you know schools fall under the Minister of Education, as much as I know that the Minister of ASAL has capacity to do other things for the regions of ASAL, but these are matters about education, schools, and the Minister of Education, through NACONEC, is better placed to really handle this kind of funds. As we speak, we have no report that has been tabled in this House to talk otherwise about NACONEC's inability to handle these funds. I support the amendment.
I'll give Honorable Justice Keme.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. While I agree on the need to have the school feeding program in not only arid and semi-arid areas, but other parts of the country, this has been met with abuse and shifting it back to where it was domiciled, Madam Speaker, would not do justice to the people of this country. So much as Honorable Kagiri has given us fundamental reasons for supporting it to go back, I disagree myself because the process has been abused and it has only benefited a few people. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Member for Laikipia, you'll be the last and then we can let the House vote.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, allow me to remind this Honorable House that it is not the duty of our children to suffer on behalf of corrupt individuals in this country. If there's a challenge at NACONEC, action needs to be taken on the individuals who mismanaged money. However, it should not be our children who are in arid and semi-arid areas who are supposed to suffer on their behalf. Number 2, Honorable Speaker, when we are told about a cabinet decision, the legislature is what directs the executive, and never has the executive been the one to direct the legislature. Honorable Speaker, we will not allow our children in arid and semi-arid areas to suffer on behalf of corrupt individuals. Deal with the individuals, but give our children the food in the streams that they deserve to get it in. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the proposed amendment may sound good, but my fear is that it is subject to Article 114, which says that such an amendment to be moved must have the prior approval and report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee, and the Budget and Appropriations Committee must have the approval of the Cabinet Secretary in charge of National Treasury. So I think it may be well-meaning, but we need your guidance on whether it can proceed in the manner proposed.
Okay, let me, Chairperson, budget.
Madam Chair, let me repeat myself.